this video I'm going to be specifically making it for M104 at IUK. This is going to be topics out of our section 3-1B. It is solving a linear system using substitution. So anyone that's trying to learn how to solve a system of linear equations and you want the substitution method, then this video is going to work for you as well. We're going to do 3 different examples, 3 different scenarios of what you might encounter. Alright, in this first example, we've got y equals negative 2x plus 4. We've got a 7x minus 2y equals 3. Alright, now in this type of scenario, if you happen to have one equation that is already solved for either x or y, then it makes it a lot easier, because what we can do is we can instantly, since we know what y is this quantity right here, and I'm using a substitution method, so I can just automatically substitute what I know y to be into that second equation. Okay, so let's do that right here. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite. I'll have the 7x minus the 2y equals 3. Now I'm going to replace my y with what it equals, which is the negative 2x plus 4. So I'm going to have a 7x minus 2, replacing the y with what it equals, negative 2x plus 4 is equal to 3. Now I have an equation that is written all in terms of x. I can solve this and find out what my x value is. So I'm going to have a 7x, distributing that minus 2, I'm going to have a plus 4x. Distributing a second time, we'll have a minus 8 is equal to 3. Combine some like terms here, 11x minus 8 equals 3. Add 8 to both sides. 11x equals 11, so x is equal to 1. Okay, so now I know my x coordinate of my ordered pair that's going to be my solution. Once I find one of these values, either x or y, and in this case it was x, then I can plug it back into either one of these two equations to find y. Alright, since y is solved, that equation is in y equals form, I'm going to choose the top one to plug it back into. Alright. So let's put here, find y, because that's where I'm at now. So I'm going to start with the equation, y equals negative 2x plus 4. I know x is 1, so I'm going to replace that in here. Y equals negative 2 times 1, which then will be a negative 2 plus 4, which is going to give me a 2 for my y. Alright, now you got to remember that every time you write a solution to a system of equations, you need to write it as an ordered pair. So my solution to this one is going to be 1 for my x and 2 for my y value. Okay, so that would be one type of scenario of solving a linear equation using substitution. Okay, for a second example. Alright, let's suppose that we have two equations here. Both of them are in standard form, so neither one of them have been solved for y or x. So in that case, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of look for one of these variables that maybe don't have a coefficient. There's a 2, there's a 5, there's a negative 3, but this x right here does not have a coefficient, which means I'm going to be able to solve this equation for x really easily. Okay, so that's what I want to look for in this one. Okay, so I mean I could do this in like about 3 steps. Okay, so my step 1 here, I want to solve one of these equations for either x or y. I'm going to choose the second one. So I'm going to have x minus 3y equals 7. I'm going to solve for x. So here, let's even put that up here. Solve for x. Okay, so x is going to be equal to 7 plus 3y. Okay, so now I know what x equals in terms of y. Okay, now if I want to do step 2 here, I'm going to basically plug it into my second equation. Alright, so let's write down plug into second equation. Okay, so my second equation is the 5x plus 2y equals 1. So I'm going to write that down first. 5x plus 2y equals 1. Alright, now I'm going to substitute this for my x, which is right here. So I'm going to do 5, substitute my x, which will be 7 plus 3y. Finish out the equation. Plus 2y equals 1. Now I have an equation all in terms of y, and I can solve that equation. So distributing that 5, I'm going to have 35 plus 15y plus 2y equals 1. I can add some like terms and subtract 35 from both sides of the equation. So when I add 15 and 2 there, I'm going to get a 17y. Subtracting 35 from both sides of the equation, I'm going to get a negative 34. That's going to give me a y equals a negative 2. So I have, on this one, found my y value first. Okay, so then my third step, let's move up a little bit so I got more room to write. Step 3. Alright, since I have y here, I need to find the x value, so let's just find x. Okay, now again, I could technically plug it into any one of these equations, but this one, since I'm trying to find x, and this has already been solved for x, then let's go ahead and use this. This is just an altered form of that, so I can do that. So I'm going to do x is equal to 7 plus 3y. I know y is negative 2, so I'm going to plug it in. 7 plus 3 times negative 2. And then that's going to be a 7 plus a negative 6, which is going to give me a y for my x value. Alright, and again, this needs to be written as an ordered pair for my solution. So my solution is going to be the ordered pair 1, negative 2. Okay, so there's a second example, done just a little bit differently. Okay, now, third example. Let's suppose both of the equations are in slope-intercept form. So in other words, let's suppose both equations have been solved for y. Alright, so this one actually turns out to be probably one of the easier ones. This quantity is equal to y, this quantity is equal to y. If they're both equal to y, then I can set them equal to each other. Okay, so really we're only going to have kind of 2 steps on this. Set those two equations each equal to each other. So negative 4x plus 8 is equal to the x plus 7. Okay, because they're both equal to y, and so I can set them equal to each other. I'm going to go ahead and solve this equation, and I'm going to solve it all in one fell swoop here. So let's subtract x from both sides of the equation. That means the x's are going to go away on that side. Then let's go ahead and subtract 8 and subtract 8. Go away on that side of the equation. Alright, on the left we'll have a negative 5x, and on the right we're going to have a negative 1. Dividing both sides by 5, I'm going to have an x equals 1/5. So I found my x value. Alright, so really that's step 1, setting the two equations equal to each other. Alright, so then step 2, all I need to do now is find my y. So find y. Alright, so I can again take either one of these two equations and plug x back in to find the y. And honestly, this one is going to be the easiest because I can add 1/5 and 7 in my head pretty easily. So I'm going to use the y equals x plus 7 equation. I'm going to plug 1/5 in. 1/5 plus 7 is going to give me a y equal to 7 and 1/5. Didn't even need to use calculator or anything. And again, we want our solution to be written as an ordered pair. Okay, so the x coordinate is 1/5, the y coordinate is 7 and 1/5. Okay, writing these solutions to these systems of equations, writing them as an ordered pair is extremely important. Definitely thanks for watching. If the videos are helping, don't forget to share with a friend and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.